Alright, and we are back with Sunless Sea again, so should be interesting. At least we found totally new location as far as know. The previous time, like actually a different location than was aware of before even. So we'll see like is there anything new to do there, but had not actually seen that location with like the postman or whatever in the game ever, so that was quite interesting also. And hello there, Jax, good to see you. It's been actually, I do think, a while since have seen you at least chat on the stream, so greetings, and hopefully you have had a good weekend this far, and we'll see what we get up to with the game next then. And good to very exhausted. That's not good. Hopefully you can get enough rest, as to remember like that you have had to do quite a bit of work, so hopefully you can get enough rest. And yes, indeed, good to have you here in any case, and we are as usual getting in various trouble, most probably in Sunless Sea, so let's move towards the game and see what happens. So let's then continue. Alright, and the game even loaded. Alright, ask why the local currency consists of rats. Yeah, that's interesting. Ask why the hairless postwoman is hairless. That could be also called interesting story. Ask about that big statue in the center of island. Yeah, there's a big statue in the center of island. Probably more curious currently about the local currency. That's not very logical, like. Interestingly. Kind of like wouldn't consider totally like the best like most considerate question ever to ask why the hairless postman is hairless. Like, yes, why no hair? That's not good either. It's the kind of a thing that the device usually helps. Like you certainly normally like if it gets bad, you do wake up a lot from. So certainly, hopefully that improves also. Not good. So do hope that improvement in that respect will be effected soon. Alright, let's wonder more about like big statue in the center of island. Monumental postman. Oh, as most of them seem troubled for more an explanation than that, though the hairless postman tells you it didn't always look like fallen London postman at all. It used to have a different face and more old-fashioned outfit. That always sounds threatening, like we know that the Sphinx used to have a different face that was much more horrible also, as we know about Egypt. Alright. And then we can also listen to postal tall tales. That certainly would be interesting. Alright, very postal tall tales indeed. Stands to reason, if the message was a welcome one, they'd tell the other fellow in person. Yeah, accepted by the locals. Alright, so clearly. Yeah, there certainly usually, especially public side, there is a waiting list for everything, and as far as have also heard, it's quite common, so not exactly like short list either, so can imagine, yes. So let's then see about what else, like borrow uniform, like if you want to look like a postman. Worker in dead letters. Yeah, we certainly can work at the postal place. Let's explore the beach also. Rescue a ticking parcel. It says refused by recipient. What could possibly go wrong? Have to say that it's kind of like if you would send a time bomb and the recipient had time to refuse it. That would be quite unusual. Have your Ratus Faber take a look at the ticking parcel. So you could also, let's actually argue with the man holding a broom. Like, yes, we are not very happy that someone shoves letters out to the sea, because we clearly would like to deliver all of them, so. Aware of flotsam and jetsam, clearly. Let's collect material for the dead letter office. Surprising number are still legible. One X dead post. Yep. Let's see, like then we probably have to go to the dead letter office. Postal rat. That's nice. So let's then see what we can do in addition to seeing the postal rat. At least it seems that we can continue. So make a study of what goes in the back room. That again requires, and here we have apparently the postal rat. Very nice. I'm sure a certain rat, this one now, would be very happy at the postal rat. Better chance of meeting people, slightly better. Yeah, if you meant the collections window. Converse with the postal rat. Alright. We do have dead post, so we can feed some of the undeliverable letters into the sorting machine. Offer employment to the postal rat's niece. Yeah. Like, we can have a Rattus Faber assistant, which is of course quite nice. Ask postal rat for key to the basement. Claim a respectable envelope from the dead letter selection. How does a envelope present themselves as respectable? End your shift. Alright, we certainly are going to use because we collected the dead letters from the beach, we are certainly going to make use of those. So let's see. 52 categories. Two oversized parcels probably containing books into the books tray. One stamped bronze tablet that drops with a clang into a bin marked First City. That would be probably the first city that fell to the fell to the knees. The postal rat watches all this with an air of satisfaction. Alright, experienced shift worker. Of course you're experienced because you first collected letters and dared to. So let's see, like, now we can actually ask for key to the basement. We can also like employ Rattus Faber assistant. Strongest possible recommendation. The postal rat is grateful and says so at length and in a variety of ways. Only so much work to go around. On Nuncio, she keeps asking to assist me here, but as you can see, I hardly require any assistance, and my research is at so delicate a stage, but she's an excellent worker, very bright, like her mother, so Rattus Faber assistant is useful because they sometimes indeed fix things on the ship, which of course, when you consider how a rat acts as an engineer, most probably isn't the best thing to fix things, but a lot like there was the famous Far Side like sketch where there was the cow with various mishappen tools and it said cow tools, then everyone would write in and ask what's the joke, and the joke of course was that if a cow would make tools they would also be slightly less than best tools ever, which of course probably applies also to rat engineers, that you wouldn't expect them to be the best engineers ever, which might be a strong conclusion in that respect. So let's then see about what else we can have happen here with the postmen. So we have now Rattus Faber assistant, and then we can again visit also the tavern. Alright, now we can trade war stories about shift work in the office. Sure. Clearly very specific ones. Long night with the postman. One wouldn't expect that mail delivery would be this interesting, one also has to admit. Ask about the locked doors in the dead letter office. That's an interesting question. No one answers you. Alright, clearly somewhat worrying. They don't come back the same, and so that's an end to it, and have another ale. So clearly not the right question. Do think that we have had enough postal affairs for now. What more interested about would be that we do not have that much fuel or supplies, and kind of actually unsure. Yeah, we still are trying to find Gator's Moon. And we have to have the 1000. But we have only one set of supplies, so it's kind of like very modest price, like 30, yes. Having another set of supplies would already be good. The prices here are like ridiculous. So makes one consider what to do with that. Let's also see where we are map wise. Kind of think the cautious forest would be here. As Mount Palmerston is here. Kind of thinking about this area. So, do you think supplies are cheaper elsewhere? In any case, we can like push at least a bit with that, like we could go through Demeau Island. In any case, it's like much cheaper to buy some mushroom to eat, like buy anything here. First time we have ever actually seen the postal place. Have not actually encountered this ever in the game before, so it's very interesting in that respect, as I was not even aware of it until now. Postal affairs indeed. So let's then move towards the Demeau Island and start that way, because there's still also zero supplies, so it's kind of manageable. And terror is only 36, so that's not too bad either. Restless Nights indeed, kind of unwilling to try the quest with the Restless Nights, because it never goes well, I have to say, like probabilistically tend to feel. And slowly getting there, it's kind of like apparently. Alright. Fortunately, you can dock even if you're in some trouble. We do not have to do anything about Restless Nights for now, but at some point would be useful if we had more pages quality in any case. Supplies are not actually any cheaper here. You can get some of them through the various you also get one free set of supplies by having tea with the factor. Let's see if we gather more supplies. You were unlucky. Only 5 more terror though. You were unlucky, really. You were fortunate, so now we have 2 2 supplies. And a lot more terror. Let's see, like again, map wise. Would be interested to check approximately that area, so and also whether Cautious Forest would actually be to the south, so we can most probably. The main problem is that if we return to London without the package at some point, our good friends at the organized crime will actually lose their temper, so. For supplies. Nice. And we have at least 29 hull, which is better than nothing. Alright, that we are not fighting. Because we have only like 29 hull left, so. Really? Let's see if we can find the. Yeah, finding gators more. Another matter is wow, that was would call close call. And also on last barrel of fuel. August travel writer. Yes, our good travel writer came along and gave us good amount of money. Travel writer sets across the planks with good speed, his briefcase in his hand. The day passes relatively peacefully, and clearly fun at the tavern. And the travel writer returns. It's kind of suspicious because there's uncommonly brutal murder also. And then he returns. Looks like we are transporting quite only like a travel writer. Alright. That kind of sounds like it's not the kind of suspense game that this one usually plays, but more like jump scare one with that kind of name. But certainly like interesting. And our good travel writer certainly we can ferry the travel writer around next to the canal. Sure, that's the canal to the surface and pretty easy target to the south of London, so that's not the worst thing to visit. And now we can collect the cargo, so now we have unstamped brilliant souls. That is an issue because we can't let the customs take those, so it requires some luck. If possible, fuel here is even more expensive. But we also have money, so it's like, yes, let's buy some fuel at the very high price, because it doesn't matter really. We have 4 fuel and that will get us to London. Another matter is the hull, that we can't do much about here in any case. Alright, it sounds like a good idea to throw them with the cat. 90% success. Secret weapon. Clearly, that sounds like good secret weapon. You throw the angry cat with perpetual ill temper at the pirate. For once, like, good idea. Let's see, read what actually happened. Your Mog's fearless ability gives it a tremendous advantage. It leaps from pirate to pinnacle to pirate, leaving a trail of swiped eyes, bleeding scalps, and multilingual curses. In confusion and terror, the enemy flees. The Mog returns to your shoulder to lick your ear with a rasping tongue. Its breath smells like weak old cave trout. Yeah, clearly we had success with the special operations cat. And we should have enough supplies and everything to make it to London. The only matter is whether we get sunk on the way, because we don't have that much hull. It is what it is. Let's first of all study the situation on the map. We could return the same way we came, or take slightly straighter route and probably encounter different troubles. So let's do that and take a southern route, because it's more interesting in any case to go into more trouble. And there was one waiting in the fog that we can maybe bypass, because it's in the fog and we are also in the fog, so yeah. Fog helps, because fog also renders others poor at detection, so let's see like at which point to turn north. Would say this is pretty good course, like the salt lions are interesting, but we will study their case later on, not when we can't really take many shots anymore at all. So sound all clear and check map. Yes, we are pretty well headed towards London and running out of fuel fast, so let's see, can we make it to... Do think we can make it to Martin Island, as we still have one fuel and we have at least optimistic, but it's of course not the first time would be optimistic on fuel consumption, said like that 5 fuel will get us to London. No, it won't as far as can see, but we are getting to Martin Island. So let's stop there. Nothing available. Abandoned ship, we are far from that much trouble and we have enough supplies. We are up to almost feeding the crew, but we can practically repurpose whatever with fuel. It smells like burning racks, but it's satisfying. Yep, we can burn supplies, that's not a problem. Let's visit Quaker's Haven in any case. Time is still passing on Martin Island. Let's chat to the fishermen and We have a port report. And we can, most probably with these, we can make it to London. Let's see which side of the island would be optimal route. Probably round the island. Really. Fortunately that only does 2 damage. That was quite a long journey. Let's see if we can survive the customs with the contraband, because now we have to take contraband into London. Working for the organized crime also, so again last barrel of fuel, but now we have once ran actually out of fuel, like about 1 pixel from being able to dock. An offer of assistance. How to fuel are we? Nope. And the customs. We would have had to have one more. So that's kind of like only the 25% challenge. Succeeded, wow. The freest of trades. They find nothing. And that's a good thing. We have more than 51 terror, so we lose some terror as we return to London. Fortunately, it resets your terror to 50, which is better than more than 50. Which is pretty much the only good thing about having terror 50. Indeed, eyes everywhere. Our good man is happy to congratulate because we somehow passed the customs. $200, which is alright. 3 fuel, 1 supplies. Inquire about dreams the next morning. Let's try anyway. And failed. So we gained 1 more terror. But we also gained 10 fragments, which at some point make a secret. Polytrim, that's very good way east of London, have to say, like visit Polytrim, which is very far east. It's like almost at the edge of the map from London, so clearly yes. Let's submit port reports. Place that lures away postmen. Certainly should repair ship. Let's see if we can use Admiralty yards. Yes. Because it's otherwise 100 and only 25 with Admiralty favors, so certainly. Alright, now we no longer have problem with having only a few points of hull. And yes, Jax, we'll check the game out in any case, though it sounds like it's not exactly suspense one, but and oh, hello there, Tika. Good to see you. You of course get greeting on the main screen also, so hello there and good to have you here. We are still for some time playing Sunless Sea here, so let's continue now that we made it back to London and didn't even get sunk, so things look quite good in that respect. So let's see what happens next, and let's switch back to the game. There we go. And see about fixed ship, and we still have 300. Six fuel, but only one supplies, so 10 fuel is good, and 6 supplies is quite good. And we can sell some things at least to the scholar, like a cheese story. Now we have cheese story. Let's see what tattoo we could get with the cheese story. Increases whale. And it's kind of like whale's qualities. Reduce terror to 0. That's also kind of useful. These give some bonuses, but it's like it's only 2. Reducing terror to 0 is kind of like, so considering terror 51, actually would prefer to have no tattoo at all, and terror quality has gone. Live specimen, yeah. We can now sell the cheese story to the scholar. Doesn't pay much, but it increases favors with the antiquarian. Consider a specialist surgeon. Do have the plausible surgeon. We need one more crew also. Tireless mechanic also sounds useful, as we are still missing gunnery officer and considering the size of our boat, it's surprising that we actually bother with a chief engineer. They also look very different in style. These are like drawn, and this looks like a 3D model. That's not the first time the game has kind of inconsistent unit portraits. Then the travel writer would like to visit the Cumean Canal, so let's take them over. Alright, let's go south and see what kind of extra trouble the travel writer causes. and some fragments, so at some point those will amount to a secret. Good to remember to sound the all clear also. Alright, good we are approaching the canal so we can again see what the travel writer does. There we are. And again our good travel writer. Alright, there was again a murder. The travel writer seems kind of suspicious at least. Of course we take the travel writer around. Alright. Khan's heart, so it's close to the Khanate. Sure. And we also got paid. Again, moves in the great game. Carter port report. We still have enough fuel and supplies, so let's see. Overall we have there would be the salt lions there. It's quite a way to the Khanate, so we could visit the salt lions for a port report. We can also start transporting stone from the salt lions to London, which pays some. So let's sail for the salt lions next. Alright, and here we are. Compile a port report. Let's try Salt's rides. It's always interesting to try for the cards of the cheap. Gained some terror. And we now have one extraordinary implication. Carries Finkstone to London. And that pretty much determines our route, so let's return to London. You can do a few deliveries of that and it pays alright, so it's... And it may have some story material included. So let's sail for London. And towards London we go. Nothing to hide, so again would have to bring package back, and of course there is that we have to have either enough Admiralty favors or the 200 to bribe the customs, so it's kind of transporting contraband has its requirements. We can of course get done with the organized crime also. Might take some effort to also succeed at, because these get more difficult locations also. Let's try. It's interesting. I don't think I've tried several of these. Alright, that works because we have to go to Khan's Heart anyway for the travel writer, so works. Deliver a Sphinx Stone, which also pays 500, which is very nice. This time we engage a normal sailor because we were missing one. Alright, got one supplies also because salt herring was on sale. We could also purchase an elegant townhouse with the money from the organized crime, but it's kind of do not think the smiling man would take it very kindly if we used the money to purchase a townhouse. That would be an interesting concept, of course. Let's cheat the mob to buy a townhouse. Might lead into some trouble. Useful to visit the Admiral because we do have moves in the great game which pays some. We can sell the extraordinary implication to the scholar, and we should improve our reputation with the scholar. So we of course, and it pays 250, which is pretty good. Oh, hello there, Riley. Let's also give you greetings on the main screen. Hello there. Good to see you, our good Dirk. So we are still playing at least for a while before finishing for tonight with the usual 1.5 hours. So let's see how far out of London we still make it next. So, and hopefully you had a good weekend after the last night shift earlier, do remember. And let's switch back to the game, and we sold the extraordinary implication to the scholar, which gave us 250, so we can maybe even upgrade ship a bit. It's also interesting how much actually the next level of ship would be. $2,000, so most probably not with this money yet. We do not have even a slot for aft gun, so ten fuel and 10 supplies, at least we are well supplied. And let's check map, like we need to visit the Khan's Heart, but we could also visit some other places on the way. Let's start towards there, so that we first go to Demeau Island and go on from there. We will probably make it there and then pretty much finish for tonight and see who we will raid. And keep going. Let's turn south by Moody's Light, so then we are pretty much in the right direction. Let's gather port report here and do all the other usual things. Tea with the factor. Gained supplies and lost some terror, which is always good. And still some minutes left, so let's push. Can explore a bit around Foskin Fleeks and then go to the post. We apparently finish at the postal place every time lately. can go to Nuncio with the postman to finish for tonight. Quite unwilling to fight that thing, so apparently they were not interested either, which is a good thing. And there we are, so yeah, port report done, and then we can visit the postman's tavern. Let's ask why the postman came here. Boredom, frustration, missed delivery. Yeah, guilt after missed delivery. Attempts to ignore the undeliverable. Preoccupation with these items. Interviewer of Postman. That's an interesting title. Ask to borrow a uniform. That would be of course useful. You cannot wear the uniform unless you were a postal employee back in fallen London. That's quite a strict requirement. Hard to get a uniform because you have to have been a postman back in London, so So let's then time wise finish here. So let's we should be doing tomorrow the game we missed, so from this week's schedule, so we will be doing Return of Obra Dinn tomorrow most probably, and otherwise of course we are going to see who we will raid, but otherwise we'll wish you a good evening, rest of the evening, and good start of the week, and we will see tomorrow. So now let's see who we will raid. Gazuma Kesep seems to be playing American Truck Simulator. Let's see about that. Yes, they are trucking, so let's go for them. It's been a while. That should do it. So thank you all for joining, and see you tomorrow. Be well.